The fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a university campus in Utah has sent shockwaves across the United States, prompting an immediate and widespread condemnation of political violence from leaders across the ideological spectrum, including former President Barack Obama. This tragic event has added a new, somber entry to America's long and fraught history of public violence, and has reignited an urgent conversation about the state of political polarization and its dangerous consequences. Summary and analysis. Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA and a prominent voice in conservative youth politics, was shot and killed while participating in a campus event. The attack occurred while he was engaging in a public question and answer session, a format he frequently used to challenge and debate with students. The nature of the attack, an assassination-style killing in a public space, underscores a worrying trend of escalating aggression in American politics. In the immediate aftermath, former President Barack Obama issued a statement condemning the act as despicable violence that has no place in our democracy. This was part of a chorus of bipartisan denunciation with figures from both sides of the aisle, including Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, and multiple members of Congress who have themselves survived political attacks, calling for an end to violence. This unified front, however, existed alongside immediate and often inflammatory reactions on social media, with some figures on the right quickly blaming the radical left for the attack, while some on the left noted a tragic irony given Kirk's own past rhetoric on gun deaths. This stark contrast between official bipartisan unity and the quick-to-anger partisan response online highlights the deep chasm that defines current political discourse. Reasons and consequences. The primary reasons for the increase in political violence are multifaceted and deeply rooted in the current political climate. Experts point to an era of violent populism, where political factions increasingly view each other as existential threats to the nation. This zero-sum mentality, fueled by heated rhetoric from political leaders and amplified by social media algorithms, creates a permission structure for violence. When political opponents are dehumanized and framed as enemies, it becomes a smaller step for individuals, especially those who are mentally unstable, to justify violent acts. The Kirk shooting is seen as a tragic culmination of this long-brewing toxicity, following other recent high-profile incidents like the attack on Paul Pelosi, assassination attempts on Donald Trump, and the fatal shooting of a healthcare executive. The consequences of this event are significant and far-reaching. The most immediate is the profound shock and grief felt by Kirk's family, friends, and followers. On a societal level, the assassination will likely lead to increased security at public political events, potentially chilling the practice of open and free debate on campuses and in other public forums. More critically, it risks creating a dangerous cycle of retribution, with each side feeling justified in retaliating for perceived attacks against its own. This could further normalize violence as a tool of political expression and erode the remaining norms of civil society. The incident serves as a grim warning that the country's political polarization has moved from a war of words to a real-world threat to life and safety. Prediction and solutions. Without a fundamental shift in political culture, it is likely that the frequency and severity of political violence will continue to increase. The immediate polarized reactions online suggest that the cycle of blame and dehumanization will persist, making it difficult to achieve lasting change. We may see more politicians, commentators, and public figures facing threats and requiring enhanced security. Public spaces, once vibrant arenas for debate, may become sites of fear and apprehension. However, there are solutions that can help de-escalate this dangerous trend. The most critical step is for political leaders and public figures on all sides to take a unified stand against violence and to model respectful, nonviolent discourse. This means not only condemning acts of violence when they occur, but also proactively lowering the temperature of their own rhetoric and refusing to legitimize figures who promote hatred. Additionally, reforms to social media platforms are necessary to combat the spread of misinformation and to de-amplify content that incites violence. On a civic level, fostering greater empathy, promoting civil debate, and strengthening communities can help bridge divides. Law enforcement must also be equipped and supported to swiftly and equitably address threats and hold perpetrators accountable, sending a clear message that such acts will not be tolerated. Ultimately, addressing this issue requires a collective commitment to rejecting violence, recognizing the humanity of political opponents, and recommitting to the democratic values that American society was built upon. Charlie Kirk, Political Violence, U.S. Politics, Polarization, Gun Violence, Obama, Democracy, Political Rhetoric, Civility, Dehumanization. Charlie Kirk, Barack Obama, Political Violence, Assassination, Utah. Turning Point USA, United States, Political Polarization, Gun Violence, Free Speech. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, Public Safety, Rhetoric, Social Media, Political Divide, Civil Discourse, Empathy, Security, Political Assassination, American Politics, Extremism, Democratic Values, Community, Unity, Debate, Campus, Activism, Gun Rights, Hate Speech, Threats, Law Enforcement, Accountability, Democracy, Civility, Society, Public Figures, Violence, Extremism, Protests, Activism, Political Climate, National Conversation, Partisanship, Human Rights, Safety, Freedom, Security, Public Spaces, Dialogue, Condemnation, Political Parties, Solutions.